Experts say the anxiety is normal, especially as California prepares to drop its mask mandate on June 15th. News 8's Shannon Handy spoke with one expert today and has tips on how to cope.
Carlo and Marcella, think about it. For more than a year, most of us have worn a mask pretty much everywhere we've gone. The CDC has now relaxed its guidelines, and for many people, that's going to take some getting used to.
Remember when the pandemic started and wearing a mask was a bit confusing for some? I do.
So I just put on lipstick to do a stand-up in a mask. I'm going to take it off now.
Amateur.
Here we are more than a year later, and people are still struggling, this time with the idea of not having to wear one.
How do you feel about getting rid of the mask?
Personally, even after all this is over, I think I'm going to keep the mask on for a while in public, just out of precaution.
Not everyone feels this way.
I do not want any masks.
No mask?
No masks.
So you don't have anxiety over it?
Nope, not a problem.
But for those who do, it's called mask anxiety.
It's going to vary from person to person.
Kim Eisenberg is a lead therapist at Sharp Mesa Vista's Trauma and PTSD Recovery Center. She says it takes about a month to form a habit and just as much time, if not longer, to break one.
A lot of it is the behavioral pieces of the habit that we've now got this muscle memory around wearing the masks. And some of it is the psychological safety net that they provide, a sense of I'm keeping myself safe, I'm keeping other people safe.
Eisenberg suggests figuring out ways to manage your anxiety in general. That starts with self-care.
Eating a healthy diet, getting outside, getting fresh air and exercise.
Next, don't talk yourself into being calm. Do things that actually make your body feel more relaxed, like a breathing exercise. Also, start small. Once allowed, if you're not ready to visit a large, crowded place without a mask, go somewhere more secluded.
So doing that kind of scaling or scaffolding where you take a small, easy step and demonstrate to yourself that you're able to do it.
Finally, give yourself time. The CDC says fully vaccinated people can go without a mask in most indoor and outdoor settings. California will drop its mask mandate June 15th. Beyond that, if you still want to wear a mask, you should.
There is no harm at all in keeping the mask on for now.
Now, while masks might be coming off, doctors advise don't stop doing some of the other things we grew accustomed to during this pandemic, like washing your hands or being mindful of germs, because those things, of course, will benefit your health.
County health officials are reporting 91 new COVID cases today. That is the second day this week under 100. That's notable. The new cases represent less than 1% of more than 12,000 tests. 4 deaths are being reported. That total is now 3,746. Meanwhile, the county is now more than 65% of the way to its goal of fully vaccinating 2.1 million San Diegans aged 12 and older.
Hundreds of cruise ship employees got vaccinated here in San Diego thanks to Sharp Healthcare.
They got their first dose of the Pfizer vaccine at the Port of San Diego today. It's an effort to help the cruise industry set sail again. CDC recently released new guidelines saying 98% of crew members and 95% of passengers would need to be fully vaccinated in order for cruises to resume. It's a welcome sign for the industry, though, and our economy, which took a big hit when cruises stopped.
All 137 cruises were canceled. That's about $280 million for the San Diego region that was lost.
The vaccination effort will continue tomorrow.
I like how they wore their uniforms and even the chef's hat. The results of 4 drug smuggling busts at sea were offloaded today at the Embarcadero. The U.S. Coast Guard brought in more than 11,000 pounds of cocaine. It's now back on land. They were taken over the last 7 weeks during counter-drug operations by Coast Guard cutters active Steadfast and Tahoma in the eastern Pacific Ocean. The drugs have an estimated street value of $220 million. Today, San Diego City Councilman Raul Campillo and Joe LaCava threw their support behind a plan to build a new bridge at Mission Trails Regional Park. Max Lanai drowned there back in January trying to cross the San Diego River during a hike, and hail and flash flooding. Now his family wants to build the Max Lanai Memorial Bridge at the crossing. Tomorrow, the Mission Trails Regional Park Task Force will be voting on the proposal.
On the outside, it's just a cluster of cottages nestled in a bustling San Diego neighborhood.
But on the inside, this is where our nation's veterans are fighting invisible battles together.
News 8's Tim Blodgett took a trip to a unique military village where former soldiers can transition back into civilian life.
After I got hit, they put me on the helicopter, and I blacked out, and I didn't wake up till like 3-4 days later. And from there, I started my recovery.
11 years ago, Josue Barone, a Marine serving in Afghanistan, stepped on an IED. Barone lost his left leg and sight in his left eye. Dealing with the physical wounds were one thing, but it was the psychological horror that kept the Marine up at night.
While I'm laying in the hospital bed, I'm going through these nightmares or these memories that I'm still in Afghanistan, and my heart, was still in the fight with the guys.
Barone spent the next few years recovering at the Naval Hospital in San Diego, but after attending a Warrior Foundation event, Sandy Lemcooler invited him to move out of the barracks and into something new.
If we got an apartment building that was similar to a barracks, they were going to live the same way, but by giving them individual cottages with a courtyard and a barbecue area, and that's where the healing happens.
Freedom Station 1 and 2, both located around South Park, home 20 wounded post-9/11 veterans in little cottages suited for their needs. Their neighbors, other veterans, all of them dealing with their own physical and mental scars of war. Planned activities and sports teams like the San Diego Wolfpack further bond the vets and neighbors as they transition into civilian life.
And there's a lot of bonding that goes on here, and there's a lot of maybe a warrior's been here a little longer than the other warrior. They can teach each other and help each other with information and how to progress and move forward in life.
Corporal Barone is a success story for the Freedom Station. He played for the Wolfpack and is an avid hand cyclist. Before he moved into a house with his family in Temecula, Barone spent 2 good years here, forging relationships and learning to live life outside the Marine Corps.
For a while, I was scared to go out into the world by myself. I was scared that people were going to look at me different. But knowing that there was guys here and we can walk across the street or go to the store together, it kind of took that anxiety away from me.
Tim Blodgett, News 8.